Hi everyone, Intuitive Edge. Welcome to my channel. This is where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. Today I want to take a look at a issue south of where I live in the state of Oregon. They have a standoff going on down there, another one, and this time it is with Republican lawmakers. Now, the state of Oregon is a very blue state, at least as far as in the populated areas. Evidently they have, the Democrats in the state legislature have a supermajority. So in essence, there's not a whole lot that Republicans can do. And so there is a vote before the legislature regarding carbon tax emission bill that the Republicans are saying is going to devastate local economies and small businesses. And basically the Democrats have a supermajority, so they can pass it. But they have to have at least 2 members, I think I read, of the Republicans present. And so the Republicans, in one last act of defiance, have skipped town and are nowhere to be found. And the state governor, who is an extremist, in my opinion, she's a hardliner. Anyway, she has sent out the state police to go round up these errant, sorry about that, bring back the errant Republicans back to the Capitol building so that the Democrats can have their vote. So I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. So I'm going to shuffle up the cards and we'll get started. When I start to kind of feel into this intuitively, the idea of a standoff, that comes up prominently, and it feels as though the standoff energy is still lingering in that state. Now let me explain. Many of you probably remember back in 2014 and beyond, there was the Bundy standoff and a bunch of protesters, and that thank God ended well, because it was not looking good between the BLM and the state was very heavy-handed at that time with the protesters, and this energy that was built up, this frustrated energy of, I don't know that I'm going to be able to explain what I'm sensing and put it into words to where it will make sense. So I'm just going to say this and hope that my viewers out there will be able to glean what I'm trying to say. Okay. In 2014, there was a standoff, and that energy of that standoff was pretty much unresolved. Now, the standoff back then did come to an end, but there was never any real resolution for the grievances that were brought forward. It kind of just dissipated, but didn't actually resolve the entire issue. It was kind of like the standoff kind of ended in this just basically kind of a truce kind of thing. But people were still in jail, and there was never any apology for the heavy-handedness. There was never a redress, really, of the actual grievances. And when we don't deal with things like this, they resurface. It's kind of like in our personal lives, when we repeat lessons in life because we didn't get it the first time, it comes back around, okay? That energy of standoff is still hanging over that state. And this is where it's resurfacing. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So basically, there's a karmic lesson or a life lesson for all of the players involved on all sides to learn something energetically from the lesson of a standoff. And because this energy that was created, it may have been created way back before 2014. Maybe this scenario has been playing itself out over and over again. As they say, history repeats itself. Maybe it's been playing over and over again, popping its head up in different areas. But I feel strongly that this is a recurring energy that has not been dealt with. And it's going to continue to rear its head. And the current methods of breaking down communication and not really resolving it is only going to perpetuate that energy to continue. It doesn't resolve anything. Even though sides might agree to just kind of part way, it's still there. That energy is still lingering. And so, okay. All right. Thanks for bearing with me. It's like trying to process what I'm feeling. It's like, that's what I'm sensing. Okay. All right. I think the only way for this energy to actually heal and dissipate so that it doesn't keep this cycle of rinse and repeat is for each side to ask for forgiveness and offer compassion and understanding. Admit wrongdoing and ask for forgiveness. I'm also feeling intuitively that I know we've seen in the news that Antifa has been very strong in Portland, and they've clashed with some of the other groups. And that, I think that is part of this energy that is trying to express. And I would be interested, if I was a resident of Oregon, to go back in the state's history and see where this started. Because I would bet, I'd be willing to bet that this thread has been going down through their history. It would be interesting to go back to see when this started, when this energy of standoff started. I think this is ancient. Perhaps the understanding needs to come by going back to when this actually started. Maybe it was in the 1800s, maybe earlier. Find out what this energy of standoff, and I almost feel like there needs to be some type of ceremonial cleansing, like a ritual cleansing of that, like, bring in a Native American in the area, somebody that can do a drumming circle or something to bring that forgiveness, that do some sort of energy to break this up. This energy is going to continue no matter what happens with these senators. If the state police are successful and they go and they round up these guys and they drag them back to the Capitol building so the Democrats can have their official vote, that for one thing that's really awful. Put somebody under duress like that. But that's not going to solve this issue of standoff, and it will come back again. It will rear its head again, especially when those who are in this cycle don't recognize that they're in a cycle, and they continue to breed that energy and give it a home and give it a voice, and they feed into it with anger and resentment and fear and whatever else feeds this thing. It's like people are being willing participants, and willing participants may be unknowing, not knowing what they're really doing. Now, I've said all that, and I haven't even laid out the cards yet. And I almost feel like I could lay out the cards, and it will probably, I'm guessing, maybe we'll see. I'll see if I prove myself wrong. But I'm guessing it will probably say, you know, this, perhaps the guys will come back, they'll have their vote, but it's not going to solve anything long term. This energy is going to continue. I think, it's just to repeat myself, I think it's ancient. I think if people are intuitive down in Oregon, do some work around whatever that original problem was that caused this energy to start, and do some healing work around that. Some prayer work, some healing work, bring attention to it, awareness, and see it for the cycle that it is, and break its power by doing healing, cleansing, whatever, and break that. It's a cycle. And until it's broken, it will only continue. This is just one more manifestation of that energy. Just like 2014, just like Antifa, just like all of that, it's there's something in the area that is bringing that energy alive. And the people that willingly participate in this next round of rinse and repeat are keeping it alive. Okay, so I shuffled up the cards. Let's just take a look at it about the senators and the people in the legislature, the Republicans that have walked out. So the first card out's the Three of Swords, card of sadness, heartache, betrayal, heartbreak, difficulty, painful. It's crossed by the Eight of Cups reversed. Eight of Cups is sadness, having to move on from something. But when it's reversed, it's like an unwillingness, like being forced to move on from something when you're not ready to. At the top, we have the Empress card. That's the card of that loving mother energy wanting to come in and do some healing energy with it. That's what we know needs to happen, that kind of coming together, smoothing things out. But underneath what's led up to this is the Devil card reversed, which is like bondage. I'm wondering though, this is like, the Devil card reversed can be like the shackles coming off or the blinders coming off. But it's kind of like that, taking matters into your own hands. Now, in the past, what the energy that's leaving is a very, very happy card. It's in the position of the past. This is the Ten of Cups. I'll show you this one. Ten of Cups. Happy card. That's in the past. So, like this joy and happiness, that's set aside. And we're moving through this Three of Swords, the first card, crossed by this Eight of Cups reversed. That's like a difficult trial. Now, on the forward position, we have a Knight, a messenger, Knight of Wands. This is interesting on the forward position. We have that energy of resolution moving forward. Now, it's facing right into the Environment card, which is the Nine of Cups. This is the Wish card. I think right now, they're getting what they want. Their wish is being granted. They're stalling this vote. And I see this here, this Two of Cups, on the Republicans themselves in this particular instance. It kind of reminded me of like, okay, you see the two people there and they're kind of sharing their little cups. Kind of reminded me of like Romeo and Juliet story, but I don't know. It's kind of like they're a tragedy, and I see like that medical symbol. I don't know. Just what's coming to me is like this. We're making a pact, whether we come through this or not, we're going to be in solidarity together. And I think that's the energy of them, the Republicans, with each other. It's like making this pact. We're going to join in and do this together, whatever befalls us as a result from it. We're in this together, in this fight together. Okay. But then we've got on the kind of what's hopes, dreams, wishes, inner world. We've got the 9 of Pentacles reversed. This is like, you know, everything you've worked for. It's like it's all coming apart. It's like, what have we been doing? What have we worked for? That's that feeling, that tug. They're probably worried about the financial setbacks from this, the fallout from this. It's kind of like this is going to affect everything we've tried to work for. The outcome of this is the Fool reversed. The Fool card is about stepping out on a new path and just going for it. And the Fool card, when it's reversed, there's the Fool card. It's kind of like being careless or hesitation, indecision, careless. So right now this strategy is working out, playing for them. I don't know long term it's going to hold up and work out for the best long term. I think it's going to cause some challenges and some issues. So yeah, I don't see it like ending up in a great way moving forward. I think it's gonna, and it'll have to play itself out. But again, the underlying problem is that strife energy that is feeding it and will continue to do so until the original is dealt with and healed. That's all I have for this. I know that was long, me winding around trying to explain what I was sensing. So appreciate you sticking with me, bearing with me as I did that. So anyway, we shall see what takes place. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. If you liked it, leave a like, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.